This is the Rebel Author Podcast, where we talk about books, business, and occasionally bad words.
Hello, Sasha Black.
Hello, darling.
What Sasha just said is, fuck it, let's go wild. And I hit record.
Exactly, 100%. How are you, my love?
I am good. And I just had this revelation as I was listening to you. I had this whole, because I'm so high futuristic, but that's early in the show. Take a drink. Becca always says people with futuristic sometimes can have problems that once we have enjoyed planning something, then we either think our brain says we've done it, so then we don't want to do it, right? Or we just forget to do it. And I just realized I got a new phone because of stupid reasons, but it's great. And I was putting shows, in my podcatcher, and I was like, well, I don't have to put a Sasha show anymore, but I will put it just in case anything ever comes out. And I haven't heard the last episode yet, and I just realized that I put it in my phone and then I forgot to listen to it.
Oh, so you haven't heard?
I haven't heard,
and
the reason I'm saying this whole building up to it is that I remember putting in and going, oh, I'm probably gonna cry. She's gonna cry. It's gonna be so great. And now I just had a flutter of happiness that I still get to experience that.
Yeah, it was proper emotion. I made a lot of people cry. I got a lot of messages saying that people cried. And we all know that I like to feed off of reader tears. So this was great to have listener tears.
To be honest, I'm made of stone when it comes to laughing out loud or actually crying in books or any media that I'm consuming, television, alone. If I'm with somebody else, sometimes I feel the pressure to do it. But if you make me cry, I will let you know. I don't know if it's ever been done on a podcast, so pressure's on.
Yeah, the pressure is on.
So you had already I think you had just recorded it the last time we talked.
That day.
That day, that's right.
Yeah.
You were coming down from the high of it. How has it felt to have a whole month without doing that?
I have barely had a second to breathe, so I kind of feel like I haven't even noticed that it's not there because I'm so frenetic that the time has just disappeared, which is very odd when it's been part of your life for half a decade. How can I have and I don't know if that's because I knew for so long that it was going, that I was kind of closing that door already, and then it was only a millimeter left to go. So yeah, I don't think it's been long enough for me to miss it yet. I don't think it's been long enough for me to miss it. At the moment, I just feel relieved that I didn't have another thing to do this month, because this month has been a lot.
I can't wait to hear about it. But I will posit for you that you perhaps will never miss it. I think I never miss the things that I give up intentionally for great reasons.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for having them, but I find whatever I needed from them, I find that somewhere else. I go get it somewhere else. And I don't miss the thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I miss the community.
Of course you do. That you can't replace. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've just had their first kind of community session without me. And I nearly went. And I was like, no, I have to let them do at least one without me before I then, come and join just for a little bit to say hi and see their lovely faces and stuff. But so that was weird, but also so lovely, because I'm like, you guys have all graduated. You're doing it. And then loads of them have done amazing Kickstarters and all kinds of stuff over the last few weeks. So I've just been kind of sat in the background feeling really fucking proud of them all. So yeah, I've seen covers flying through the group and just kind of stayed quiet, kind of watching what they're doing, and just feeling really proud.
There's so the not so secret class, but I don't advertise it anywhere, is that I teach. It's called 90 Day Grads, and it is for people who have finished my earlier programs, right? And they have a group that is called Grads of Grads, and they made it up. They meet. They have a Slack. I have never been to one thing, nor have I been inviting. They know I don't want to be invited. This is their thing, and it makes me just the proudest mama hen. And the joy of my life is when people from all different parts of the world end up in the same place and send me pictures. like their faces, they're smiling, they're hugging each other because they've been working together for a long time. And it's just, don't we feel so good about that? And that's not going to stop.
No, I
Yeah.
love that. Well, of course you love it because you have the connection one, right?
Connection.
What is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have connection and
Is that what it's
real.
called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Said the
I was like,
person who might not have much of it.
no, I do. I have that. I have three blues in
Connector.
my
Maybe
sort
it's
of
connector.
connect. I can't.
I'm gonna look
Why?
it
What
up.
is wrong with me?
I don't know. We're
I
broken.
bleed strength. I must be broken not to
It's
remember the name.
connectedness. That's
I knew
it.
it wasn't connection. I was like, that doesn't sound right. That does not sound right. But for the life of me, I could not put in my brain what the
Is it in
actual
your
word
top
was.
10 as well?
No, I think
Yeah.
it's like maybe like 16, 17,
So pretty high,
18,
like
maybe.
mid range. Yeah.
Mid range, yeah. I only have three blues, and that is one of them
Yeah.
in that mid bucket. Everything
Yeah.
else is in the bottom five. So what have you been doing?
I've I have been this is a strange answer to it, but I've been doing well. I have
Excellent. That is good
right?
news. Yeah.
Instead of like I just I feel like I've overridden my systems programs that have always made me run too hard and too hot and too fast and I've been doing like your face is great.
That is
That's
a
what?
miracle.
I know.
What are you talking about? How is that
I'm
even possible?
I'm working on the literally on the autonomic nervous system that is, below everything that we do and keeps us in states of stress or states of freeze or whatever states that we're in. And I've come into it sideways by doing some somatic body work. And then my friend Mona McDermott has been teaching about it. And then I was introduced to this woman named Sarah Baldwin. And I'm learning about all of these things that my body and old past stuff has just been like driving the way I react really quickly and really hard and really strong. And working on it has been making me just like super not chill because I'm never going to be chill. I'm not a chill person. I could stop pretending that I ever will be. But I can be a relaxed person. I can be a relaxed writer. I have been just getting stuff
I have a
done.
better word.
Oh, what's that?
Resilient.
Resilient
I
and
think it's
regulated.
resilience.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
regulated resilience. I've just
yeah.
been showing up to get the work done. I've been recording the fix. I've been writing curation. I've been applying to residencies. I closed up this current grads class. Um, and things have been feeling easy and sweet.
So I think that a lot of what strengths therapy and any of this kind of work does is to make us more resilient. And by
Yeah,
that, I mean, for those of us who do not have adaptability, our biggest struggle is
that's my last
adapting
one.
to,
That's
yeah,
34.
yeah, is
And
okay.
it's Lala's
So,
number one.
oh, wow.
You see.
Wow. Um, so yeah, like I really feel like it is the best work that we can do to learn how to be okay in the face of change or when things don't go our way, when we are able to pick ourselves up. That what like the whole point of it is to reduce the amount of time it takes us to get back up.
Mhm.
And I think that that is the most important work that we can do as humans because we
Mhm.
will constantly face change and we will constantly face things that don't necessarily go our way. And if we are able to pick ourselves back up and get on with it quicker, then we are succeeding.
I always go back to this gentle image of when I'm thinking about this kind of thing of a toddler, and I've never had one, you have, but like the toddler learning how to, so it's not even a toddler yet. It's a baby who's been crawling and learning to walk and how they keep standing up and they keep bumping down and they keep standing up and they keep bumping down. And generally kids with like body functioning who that allows them to do this will just keep getting up until they can walk and then they fall down less, but that's what we do with everything that we do, and we do it in writing, and we just kind of keep standing up and lowering the pain of standing up and the time it takes to stand up again is what we learn how to do.
But it's also lowering the pain of failure or
Yeah.
perceived failure. Perceived failure, I think, is the
Yes.
right phrase because it's
Yes.
not real failure, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that toddler analogy. And I also think it's interesting that we are born with this innate resiliency and this innate ability to continue to get up until we just achieve. And somehow, between baby slash toddler and adulthood, it gets bashed out of us.
Yes. Yes.
Like, why? Why does it get bashed out? What happens
I
for
don't know.
us to learn that resiliency is not the way kind of thing, you know? Like
I
I
think
find that so interesting.
I love that we're so going so deep and existential already, but but we learn in there, and I know I learned that failure was shameful,
Oh
was never to
yeah.
be admitted. That I didn't, my parents never, ever, ever said you have to be the best. But it was always in there because,
Implied.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say the quiet words out loud because I always was the best. In school, and I'm talking about in school, I was always the top of whatever, from kindergarten on. And then right about when, my ADHD started, unmedicated ADHD really started kicking in, like when I entered university and I couldn't keep up and I couldn't be the best anymore. And I thought then I was the worst. I went somehow in my brain, I went from, I have to be the best because it's what they expect. And I am the worst because I'm not the best anymore. And I could barely go to class.
That's like
And
a competition thing though, because competition only sees win or fail. Like there's no coming, you don't come
uh,
second. There is no
I
number
always,
two. It's
you
only
know that
win.
I always want to like push my competition away that don't have it even though it is number 9, it's in my top 10. But you're right, that is exactly what it is. And I think it's taken 20 or 30 years to start recovering from that. But I have to tell you, I've got like I love my students so much. I love working with newer writers, and I wish that I could give some of the, don't you wish you could give some of the stuff that you have learned and just like now can do without thinking to them? I see them,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a couple people in particular right now who are very worried about their books being out there and the rejection. Even they're self-publishing, but they're worried about the rejection that will come from readers or the bad reviews and how will they survive them. And I just don't have that anymore. I eat rejection for breakfast,
I,
ma'am.
yeah, I
Why
use
does
my
it?
1-star reviews to make money,
I know you actually.
you
You know
know?
what? I use that. I use your 1-star review. Didn't you make a shirt, or did somebody make a shirt for you of
I
basically
can't.
porn?
Mm,
What?
Elaine, no, it went on my banner.
It went
But
on.
do you know what? This week I've just had another viral video with that same 1-star review. It's the fucking gift that keeps on giving, man. It just keeps on giving.
I that is. I wish I could get a review like that. That's incredible.
I know,
But
right? I'm like, come on, give me some more, give me
give
some
more,
more.
give more. So I've been doing the I've been, oh, what's the word? Applying. That's the word. You're the first person I've spoken to. It's still dark. Applying for residencies because this is like the first book that I've ever wanted to do, take to residencies. I don't want them to pay me money to go sit in a cabin somewhere. And I've applied to 4 so far. And as of yesterday, I've been rejected for 3. And why does it feel good to get a rejection? I swear to God, it doesn't even feel not bad, which I would take in my older days. But now I'm like, whew, that's great. Now I know. And,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know what that, I think it's resiliency.
oh, yeah, that's probably what it is. It's
It is.
regulated resiliency. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost feel like there is, well, I think this is why people write mindset books
Mm,
because it is their attempt to distill these lessons that we have learnt into something that you can give. But I often think that mindset is both theoretical and practical. And you can only get the theory from a book. You can't get the practical because the practical has to be experienced through lived experience, I kind of
yeah.
think,
No,
you
I
know?
100% agree. And that's why I think that the mindset books are useful. And,
I love them.
I read all of them. I just got a new
Yeah,
one.
me too.
But yeah, I think that you don't have to, there's no have to anywhere, but I think the best way to do it is to be learning about the mindset, supporting yourself, and then doing the practical, being knocked down, and then being in some kind of community somewhere. Even if it's I mean, I was gonna say like even if it's a Reddit subreddit, but don't go to a writing subreddit. Those are horrible. But you need to be part of a community somewhere that helps lift you up.
Yeah.
That helps you say like, yeah, because like with my group, we celebrate every rejection. Like your first rejected query letter, it's like a party. It is the best. How did I do it alone? I did it all alone.
It's
Like, uh,
yeah, I don't know how you did it alone. But I love that celebration. Also, because the minute you get the first, you're one step closer to
Yeah,
the acceptance, right?
yeah,
But that mindset takes learning, I think.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to you have to build it brick by brick, I think.
Yeah. That's so anyway, that's what I've been up to. I've been enjoying regulation. And of course, because I am number one input and want to give away what I learned, I've been moving closer towards this like, 2-hour class that I'm going to sell and also give to the members of Ink Village about using like hacking your nervous system to make the pain of writing a little bit easier. So it'll be actually practical, like some tools to use that'll help you get to the page with less trauma.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
not sure what
that.
it's, I'm not sure what it's
Yeah.
going to be called yet, but
I don't know. I feel like, okay, so I know lots of people hate the kind of childbirth analogy for writing a book, but there is one element of writing a book that I feel like is absolutely identical to childbirth. And it is what you're talking about, which is the pain. Because I feel like I don't know if I'm completely deluding myself, but like I love drafting. And I genuinely think that I bitch and moan my way through the draft of every single book, and it's always difficult and it's always the most painful. And then at the end, I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Like rah rah rah.
I can't
And
wait to do it again.
I can't wait to do it again. And I'm in progress of drafting right now. And oh my God, I am so fucking sick of hearing myself bitch and moan about writing this book. And I swear to God, like I do it every single time. And I just completely delude myself when I'm finished. I'm like, this is my favorite bit. And I'm like, but is it? Is it?
Well, you really hate revision, so I'm going to
I
say that probably
really hate revision.
drafting is going to
So
be your favorite.
like the
Okay, so
least bad.
tell me about you now. What has been keeping you frenetic? Give me
Oh
everything.
my
It's so nice
God.
to see you.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I know. It's lovely to see you too. I mean, okay, so we just came back from Edinburgh, which was lovely. We went to see my aunt and uncle, and I got to see one of my besties. And what else? What else? Okay, so I guess the big things are in the background Kickstarter,
And what is this Kickstarter
delivery.
for? Because I'm never
No,
putting
no.
major things.
This is delivering the one that we did, the big
Oh, right,
one.
right, right, right. Okay.
Yeah, because that's a whole thing. Delivery of a six-figure Kickstarter campaign is a whole fucking thing.
Let's just pause right there because I'm making a note to go back to it, but let's not go back to it. We're just going to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
But while you tell me about this, because tell me about what that's like. Because don't you have Portia, is that her name, doing all this for you?
Petra.
Petra.
So, like, yes, but also, like, so
Listeners,
don't get me
Sasha
wrong.
is
Okay,
now rubbing her face and rubbing her eyes.
no, so look, Petra, I would die without her. She's doing absolutely loads in the background. But because she does not live like in my town, I have to take a lot of the responsibility for the operational logistics stuff. And in a small bout of timing clusterfuckery, we have ended up in a situation where the Kickstarter and Architecty have to be delivered in the same week.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, and then my Juliet told me she was going on holiday.
This is the person who works in the warehouse for you? Oh no.
And I was like, is there any wiggle room? So she has shifted by a week, but she's only there for a week. So, oh, and also it's the week my son starts high school.
No, this is when you hire a temp. This is when you hire a temp. And we don't need to get it
Yeah.
from a temp service. You can get it from Craigslist or whatever the equivalent is. Just get somebody who does not use drugs in the warehouse and put things in their hands.
So it's like we're working through it. We're working through it, but it's a little bit of a clusterfuck, and yeah. So anyway, we're basically going to try and do as much prep as possible. But I'm essentially giving up my entire summer, and I've kind of got to the point where I've said,
I hate this.
actually, yeah. Well, so, and this comes back to resiliency. I'm going to try and do this
Okay.
vomit quickly.
Yep.
So basically, I got to the point where I realised I was not going to be able to finish both Architecty 1 and 2 before we went on holiday. Had a shit fit. picked myself back up and was like, okay, fine, I'm just going to do the first one. And then I kind of recognized how much was going to have to be done over the summer because it's not just fulfilling the Kickstarter, it's also fulfilling the pre-orders,
Mhm.
of which we're already over 600 pre-orders on my website for physical books.
Oh,
So
ouch. And yay.
yeah, yeah, and we're still 124 days away from release, so it's probably going to be over 1,000, and that's 1,000 extra parcels that we have to buy on top of the 600 Kickstarter ones. So it's going to be a real fucking busy week. Yeah, so I was like, okay, we have to prepare everything, and then there was like there's just been like some clusterfucks, like just some things we didn't account for, and I don't want to lose several weeks of my time over the summer doing a Kickstarter unless we're talking about a huge amount of profit. And because of some things that have happened, because we've brought extra stock and because we did not account for like Petra's time after the Kickstarter,
Ooh, yeah.
that profit has reduced.
Hmm.
Not like we've still made profit, don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
but my acceptable profit is now different to what it
Hmm.
was before
Yeah.
because of the value of my time that has gone up. So it's been a lot of lessons
I would think
and
that you would have stopped learning lessons by now about the Kickstarter. But
oh
there's
my
always
God,
lessons, but that seems so
there's
obvious
always
when you say
lessons.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and okay, look, so if we hadn't have brought extra stock, then there'd be more profit in it. So on the one hand, you have to go, well, actually, then you have to not count that stock and you say that you've made more profit,
Right.
because we're going to make extra more money on top.
Right. Yes.
That has to count off kind of after. Anyway. So I'm
The
giving up the
accounting is
summer.
difficult, is what you're saying.
The accounting is difficult. I'm giving up the summer not just because of all of the deliveries but also I have to sign 5,000 books. So I have to do that in the summer and my son is off school and we're away for a couple of weeks and then, so it's just there's a lot. I don't normally get a lot done in the summer anyway because of the school holidays. So
Hmm.
so there's that. What was the other stuff? I have been writing, which is good, but I have been struggling more than I have ever struggled. I think because the way I work best is once I start, I don't stop and I don't
Hmm.
take more than like a weekend off. And it's been very stop start. And the minute I have more than a weekend off, I convince myself that the book is shit, there's a problem with it. And then when I go back to it, I start breaking it instead of just keeping the activator needs that forward motion at all times. Like, don't stop. The worst thing you can do is to stop.
Hmm.
And so I have to really look at scheduling and planning and then prioritizing the words over everything. Like, today I had the day to myself and I should have done words and instead I did mortgage stuff and I did school forms and and then I had to do a synopsis and blah blah blah. Anyway, one other really exciting bit of news. So I've had a couple of approaches from places,
I
which you
was
know
going to
what I
say
mean. Yeah,
synopsis. Excuse
yeah,
me?
yeah.
We
Well,
don't
no,
do
nothing
those
that.
as.
Well, I know, right? But anyway, I had to do my sales figures, and I have sold over 101,000 copies of my Girl Games series. So all formats, the whole trilogy, but it's gone over 100,000, 101,000. I know that face was my face as well. I was like, could you just rerun the? No, I was like, no, and they were like, yeah, yeah, and I was like, fuck, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. So I was quite impressed with that. That's 2 years old as well. It's not even like it's only 2 years old. And then
I'm so stoked.
the vampire ones are over 78,000, and that's only a year old. So I was like, what the fuck?
I'm
Yeah,
always, always going to say, remember when you were like, I don't think this is a good idea. It's gonna, I don't know if I should do. I'm not going to tell anybody.
I know. Who even was she? So yeah, that's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That is so exciting. And I don't think it's tempting fate and we're not going to tell anything and I don't know anything. But just to say I know that people will be knocking. That is what happens. People will
Well,
knock.
yeah, I mean, that it's just for a selective right, a selected right, if you catch my drift. It's
Yes,
not,
and I
it's
hope it
not,
is. I hope it
yeah.
is.
Oh,
And the nice thing
oh,
is that you have a bunch of friends. We have a bunch of friends that have done this,
yeah.
and you get to go to them and say, "What would you not do? What should I do?" Yeah.
Well, I think this is really interesting because I was having a conversation with our mutual friend
hmm
about what would it take? Like, what is the number?
hmm
And the thing is,
Did they
I'm
tell you
really
what their number
open.
was? Their number was. I'll
Mm,
tell you. I'll tell you off air sometime because it's
okay, yeah,
hilarious,
tell me
and
off
they're
it.
laughing at us right now. So anyway,
Oh, okay.
it's one of my favorite stories. It was
Okay,
too
yeah,
low.
no, and now oh, okay. Okay. So we were talking about what is your number? And I think my number's pretty high at this point. And there
Good.
was there was
Should be.
kind of like another approach that was very loose and like it was a request to send stuff. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to because I as somebody who's got competition and significance, I'm extremely aware of my position in the market. And I said to my agent, I am too expensive right now for trad. I'm
Mm-hmm.
too they are going to see me as too much of a risk and I'm going to be too expensive because they they for somebody who's earning what I'm earning, they're going to expect me to be top 500 at least most of the year round. And I'm
Right.
not because
Right.
my biggest income source is my website.
Right.
It's not Amazon.
Yeah.
So, and who's tracking that? Nobody's tracking that. And they can't get access to that data.
hmm
And so I was thinking like, because I've had like literally three different approaches in the last couple of weeks for different things. And I was like, oh, I actually have to think about what my number is because it that might come and I want to consider it because there are things that TradPub can do for me. But also, I know my value. And if I were to sell, for example, like paperback rights, I'd have to give up the warehouse. I'm not going to give up that warehouse. That warehouse is my biggest income source. Like, I can't imagine the kind of number somebody would have to drop in my lap for me to go, oh yeah, all right, I'll shut down
hmm
the
hmm
warehouse. I don't know. It would have to be a really fucking big number because you lose tax
hmm
and then you also lose agent fees and then it's stuck in my company and I have to get it out of the company, so I have
And
to pay more tax.
it's much lower royalties, and you also you
Earn
have to
out.
know that it's forever now because the way
Yeah.
they're writing contracts now, you're not going to get the rights back unless I've seen some people write contracts that I do get the rights back in seven years. Screw you. If it's selling a million copies a year, I still get the rights back. So you like there the beautiful thing is that you know what you're worth. You know what you're worth over a long extended period of time. This is not about the next 3 years. This is about the next the rest of your career. And you get to set a number and you get to set a number that's so high that you know nobody will ever match it. And then if they do, you're like, holy shit, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Or you could say they could have, print rights for this series, but nothing else ever. You get to make all the rules if you want to make rules. And isn't
Well,
that gorgeous? Let's just take a moment, Sasha, and enjoy that fucking moment.
yeah, I mean, it's
It's lovely.
yeah, like you can't lie. Everybody wants a trad like or wants the magic that can come from trad. That's what they actually want. What they
And
want are
and I believe
the
the magic is distribution only. That's what Trad has
yeah.
now. That's it. They don't have any other magic. We can do all the other magic.
And they can't even necessarily do that because I was in Edinburgh and I went into two stores and they were like, "Oh yeah, like we've stocked your books, but we've had to stop because the discounts have gone from Gardeners." And I was like, "Pardon?" Yeah, so I went to my rep at Ingram and they were like, "We don't actually have control." And I was like, "Right, Petra, you get in touch with Gardeners and find out what's going on. Maybe we have to set up an account there."
I have the
But
same problem in
also,
New Zealand. Yeah.
well, guess what I can do?
What?
I can price match and I've got a distribution warehouse. So I said to them, I was like, fuck the middleman. I was like,
Yes.
not only will I match the price that you're paying trad, which is like £4.90 a
Yeah.
copy. I was like, I will match that. I will also sign all of the books and I'll send you merch.
And I'm assuming you're talking to a large store.
No, I was talking, well, I mean, they're independents,
Right.
but, but I will do that for all of the independents. And for the other ones, I think we just need to speak to gardeners to sort out and maybe
Yeah.
have an account there.
Yeah.
But that's not hard. We can do that and have an account at gardeners because we have got distribution. And then the other thing that we can do is we can encourage the bookstores to set up accounts with Ingram Spark, and then they will get the discounts at Ingram. So there are lots of ways and means of doing it. And am I going to get really wide distribution with, like, the sales stands? No, I'm not. But I'm going to get enough.
Hmm.
And, you know, I don't know,
And
maybe it
and
will.
and the reason that they know you, that they have had your books, is there's only one reason for that. There's only one reason that happens is because readers walk in and ask for it.
Yep. And
That's
that's
because
what
they
they
don't
said was,
care. If nobody asks for it, then they don't care about the book. But they've had it because readers wanted it, and then they decided it was too expensive. But that
yeah,
there's demand. The demand has been shown.
exactly. And that's what they were saying. We always order it when people ask for it. So I was like, right, well, we can fix that. So yeah. So I'm like what I would be such a hard cookie to buy now. I'm like, well, what actually can you offer me? So bolshy.
People on my Patreon will be able to see the YouTube if anybody wants to. And Sasha, your face is just like it says so much.
Gorgeous.
If you ever want the YouTube video to send to your people, let me know because
Yeah, oh,
I
that would
always
be,
make it for
yeah, that
mine.
would be cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, well, that would be good. But yeah, I just like I'm just I mean, hell, if they can, what do you have a number?
Oh, absolutely not. My number is like my number is 75 cents. I don't care. Yeah, no. I need a number. I need a number.
You need a
I
number.
always have a number to sell a book. I had a number for Seven Miracles of Beatrix Holland because the whole plan was to self-publish it. And I had a number. It's fun. It's funny. You'll laugh and you'll appreciate it. My number was exactly what I would take in order to just like say, oh, then I don't have to deal with any part of it. They'll deal with everything. I don't have to publish any part of it. And the highest offer that we got was that number. Should have
No.
made my number
Oh
higher,
man, you
shouldn't
really
I?
should have made, yeah, you should. You really should have made that number higher. That's so funny.
Yeah, so I wasn't surprised by that, but I was also delighted by that. Um, yeah, but I will tell you that I'm struggling. Oh, I'm struggling with Seven Miracles because they no one has utilized the rights to get it into other countries. And I'm the one who brought up like into the English speaking countries, and I'm the one who brought up like um I wanted in other countries. So can I license the cover? I'm going to be self-publishing this everywhere, right? Except for the places that they've utilized, which are um, uh, U.S., Canada, and the Philippines, and that's it. Nowhere else. Not UK, where I sell big. Not Australia, where I sell probably the best. So I was gonna do this, but then they the I got my dream narrator because I asked for my dream narrator and I've used her for other books. She's incredible. Her name is Exie Sands and she has her own following. She's got an incredible voice. She's incredible. And now I want the audiobook to be available everywhere. So I am I'm and don't yell at me, but I think I'm going to give them world English rights so that we can do the EPUB and the audiobook all over everywhere and they'll be able to import in copies to countries who order it and I
What are they going to
can't.
give you for that?
It'll go toward the advance. The advance will the advance will earn out faster, which is great. I love that because I want to make it would be great to earn out the advance and then make money on it.
Mm,
That would be fabulous. And in my head, I'm like, that's actually worth it to me just right now not to fuck with it. I can still
mm.
get it translated. I can still publish it other places if I want to. But I have to tell you, between you and me and the fence post and anybody listening to this, they are excited about it. They have had bigger orders than I've ever had. And they told us the order number, or no, sorry, they told us the print run number on the call, on the publicity call that they set up. This is how it's always gone in my mid-list career, is that my agent bugs them for the publicity call. We get the publicity call, and they don't tell the pre-order numbers because they don't want to. I'm not saying, I keep saying pre-order. It's the number they're printing to hit the pre-orders they're getting from stores. And it's higher than I've ever had before. And they volunteered it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe this is the one that can hit. So why don't they just sell it everywhere and then I don't have to bother with it? But my agent even wants me to come up with a proposal for the next book in this series, which I can do because I'll write it if I am paid well to do it, and I won't if I don't.
And it's like cozy fantasy, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It's cozy
Oh,
queer fantasy, which is having a moment.
It is having a birthday. Oh oh, oh, I just
No.
got goosies. Oh my
Really?
goodness.
Have you seen the cover?
Yeah.
Have I shown you the cover? It's right here.
Mm,
I really like it. It's perfect.
oh, it is
It was it was
perfect.
black and dark, and then the sales team read it and they thought this is not a black dark cover. Um, so they changed the whole cover into this cozy, the cozy look. So I mean maybe cozy is yeah. So anyway, I'm happy about that, but I'm kind of bummed that like but I'm very happy that I do not have to self-publish and like get on that right now
You
to get
have
that out by
like
August.
accidentally written to the most hot market ever.
Well, that has never happened before.
Well, there is a first for everything.
So
Oh, I
yeah,
have really good feelings.
I have fingers crossed. Maybe I'll ask my
Yeah.
friend Sasha Black to hold it up on TikTok and say you should read this one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can. It's queer, right? So I can.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness me. I am so excited for you.
Nah, thanks. Thanks. Okay.
So,
So what else?
what are you doing between now and next month? So, you've been doing your residencies. Have you kind of exhausted all the list?
I think I have
Do you have
exhausted what I
more?
want to apply for now, and I just did the biggest, longest one yesterday. So even if one came across my table, now I have everything in place that I could just plug and play and just change some words to focus it to that residency. Um, I am I'm going to work on selling this little selling this little class, which means that I'll be selling Ink Village as well. And that means I have to build it. And I really love building. I love building a new product to help writers, it lights up all the parts of my
That's your
brain that have fun.
activator.
Ugh, it's my activator and my achiever like working in
Yeah.
combination. And that's why I
Yeah.
can get classes built in, a day because my brain goes on fire. And I haven't had space to do it while I was doing the grads and all the other stuff. So the grads is closed. And then I will reopen all three of my classes in 1 month. So I have a month to get a lot of stuff done, and then I'll reopen the classes, and then I'll teach those. I'll teach all three of them. It might be for the first time this year. Or maybe I'm only going to teach all three of my classes once this year, which was really my goal. I just realized that because I'm going to do August, September, October, and I haven't taught them all year. Maybe I did it. Maybe this has been where I've been trying to work to. Because I
That's
love teaching, but I
exciting.
want more time to write, and that's been my whole goal. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
That's very exciting.
Juggling money around and making sure that it can come in, and I need to be working towards the Kickstarter of the fix. And did I tell you I've been working with a marketing person on that?
No.
She's fantastic, Heidi McIntyre. Love her. And she's working with me to relaunch Unstuck because I never really launched it. I sent one email once.
Oh no,
To
maybe
my
you
list. Yeah, I
did
think I
tell
did.
me.
And so
Yeah.
she's working with me on this, and it's kind of a soft relaunch for Unstuck, and this will happen after Seven Miracles comes out in August. But then I'll focus on launching the fix, but it will be another launch for Unstuck, and she's really great she's positioning me to do the social media stuff. Yeah, we did talk about this because you were talking about TikTok and blew my mind. Yeah.
Your series is the Fix series, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Do
it
you
still is.
do you have one for like mindset resiliency kind of?
I do, and I've been writing it forever, and it's mostly written, and I just have never put it together. But it's
Okay.
particularly for writers, where so that'll be the writing fix,
Yeah,
which
okay.
is obviously it's a clickbait title that isn't real because there is no fix. There's just learning how to
The
be
work
comfortable in doing the
in
work
pain.
and being resilient. But yeah, that is definitely there, and then I may let's see. Yeah, yeah. So that'll kind of be a launch of all three of my memoirs out, The Life in Stitches, Unstuck, and The Fix. So that'll hopefully be a nice big Kickstarter
So
towards the end of the year.
coming back to resiliency, what is the hardest bit of writing to be resilient to?
For me,
Yeah.
because I do think it's different for different people. Oh, that's such a good question. For me, I it is the belief that the book that I'm writing is important enough that when I draft it, which I find is the most difficult part, it should take priority over everything else that is. important in my life, especially when I'm bringing in the bacon and that is the hardest part. And that is kind of what I've figured out for myself. And I've only figured it out for myself, but I feel like I can help a few other people figure it out too. I love your face. Your face is fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're fucking hurting me deep right now.
So
This
talk to
hurts
me more. I
so
wanted to ask
deep.
you more about like the difficulty of writing this book and the reason why did you
Yeah.
allow, and
So
there's no recrimination. I'm not beating you up, but why what happened today that you didn't write even for 30 minutes?
so I had so remind me to come back to pressure.
Yeah, well, got it.
But so I had a break. We were in Edinburgh, and I did write 1,500 words whilst we were in Edinburgh because I needed to touch the manuscript because
Hmm.
I needed to not have too long of a
Yep.
break. But I'm now at 3, 4 days, and literally
Ooh,
2 days is my max. And
yeah.
so the minute I got to day 3 of not having written, I was like, no, there's something wrong with the book. Like it's like I woke up and I was like, the book's fucked. I've broken it. I've done it again. I've fucked it all up. Which is it's just bullshit. It is total lies in my brain. Well, anyway, I wrote the synopsis today
Mm,
and it took me all fucking day,
that's
but I
writing.
did it.
That
Oh
is
my
writing.
God, it was so hard. And then like I got to the end of the day and I was really trying like I could tell I was fighting myself because I was like, no, I feel better. But no, there's probably still something wrong, and I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, anyway,
Mm.
so I was like, oh yeah, the synopsis kind of works, like, but anyway, um, so coming back to, so I'm 22,000 words in. It's not like I've
Hmm.
not written anything. I'm
Hmm.
22K in, and
20K is
but I
where I always start to panic. I'm about 20K into mine right now too.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's
always
my
a little
panic point.
like a butt
Yeah.
squeaky moment, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm struggling with a little bit is that all the way through the outlining phase, I thought there was something wrong in the middle and I couldn't quite work out what it was. And, I tried to go back to all of the things that Ellie had taught us, about stakes. And, I really like mirror endings to beginnings
Mhm.
and like the juxtaposition, and juxtaposing characters and their character wounds and arcs and all that stuff. And I kind of, but also like, I feel like the more I write, the more intuitive I become, and I have to let go a little bit and just trust myself. Um, and that's really hard. But also, if I just turn my brain off, I write and the story ends up fine. So
Mhm.
I don't know. So there's a little bit of that. And then there's the pressure. This is, I feel like the most pressure I have felt writing a book ever. When I wrote the vampire series, so the first series was the magicians, the second was the vampire. The magicians didn't give a shit because there was no stakes. I did the
Nobody
first one
knew.
in secret.
Yeah.
Nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
And then once I'd released the first one, I'd already partly written the second one. The third one did get a little bit more difficult, but that was because I hadn't really planned out what the end of that trilogy was because they were interconnected standalone. So it was more about that than anything else. The vampire one, um, there was more pressure because people were expecting it, but I was still very excited. Like vampires is my favorite genre ever. So it was something that I'd been lusting after writing for so long. And I knew that I had a really good twist. Like I knew the twist was fucking banging because that's kind of where I started was with that twist. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna build a whole thing around this. Um, but my audience is now quite large and there are a lot of people expecting this book. I've already got over between all of the places, I've got over 1,000 pre-orders already.
So you can, yeah, I mean, the first is magician, second vampires. What's the phrase you would
Demon,
use? Demons? That's right. That's right. Thank you.
demon romance.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
it's a
right.
demon romance. And so there are more people expecting it. And I was supposed to have written it already, which means that we could then be marketing it already. And we're in this really fucking awful situation where we've had to tell people tropes, we've had to tell people about it in order to encourage the pre-orders.
Oh my
Otherwise, we're
God.
going to
And you're
run.
still writing it.
and I'm still
Oh,
writing it. It is the worst thing I've ever done. And it's the one thing I was trying not to do because I do not cope well with that kind of pressure. And
no
then
one
added,
does. No one
no,
does.
and then added onto that, we've now got rights requests in the background, which is also adding pressure. It's great. I am not like, listen, I'm not universe. This is the problems I choose. I'm
Yep.
not,
Yep.
but they're wonderful, wonderful opportunities, but they do create more psychological pressure. And so I'm then dealing with that on top. I'm then dealing with the fact that we're racing towards the school summer holidays. And then I'm also dealing with the fact that like we have this whole Kickstarter that needs to be delivered in the background as well. And it's just a lot. And so I think that I have never felt pressure like this before.
Mm.
And I miss Ellie more now than ever.
Are you not seeing Ellie anymore?
Ellie, have you heard from Ellie?
No, I haven't.
No, she
And usually I
disappeared
hear
in
from her.
January.
I did not know
No,
that.
she disappeared in January. She's not coming back, I don't think.
Oh, I'm sending her good thoughts. Oh
Yeah.
no, I was just thinking to myself a second ago, I'm going to reach out to Ellie after this. Shit.
Nope, she won't reply. She hasn't replied to anybody since
Okay.
January.
No, I didn't
And
know that.
yeah, I went through like a grieving period. Like I really grieved like she was dead. She's not dead, but I grieved
Yeah.
like it. And yeah, I'm feeling the need for some kind of like sports psychology coaching. That's kind of what I feel like I need.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But okay, so I am not a counselor or a coach, but I am your friend.
Yeah.
The I'm guessing, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but the most important thing is architecty, right?
Yeah.
So you can't have all day every day to write it the way you want it. You can't. That
No.
opportunity does not exist. That does not mean that architecty is not the most important thing. So your process may have to change a little bit in order to get what, I don't know, 2 hours a day in on it and then do the other things while dropping maybe a couple of balls. What will work for you?
Well, I mean, like, I got 22K done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What works for me is not having any days off, which sounds like the most unhealthy thing in the world. But honestly, that forward motion is the best thing that I can do. Like
That's what you
blinkers
do.
on like a horse
Because then you
and
can
just,
not work for a while you're
yeah,
doing other
yeah,
things and you're
yeah,
building outlines and stuff like that. But when you are in it, you're in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Having sprinters really works for me.
Mm.
I need like a catalogue of sprinters. The problem is I need particular types of sprinters.
Hmm.
And there's only really a couple of people that sprint the way that I need to sprint. Because sometimes it can be more of a distraction if like I need people who essentially I need people that write at ghostwriting pace.
Hmm.
And who are happy to like race to 1,000 without there being any kind of feelings of I'm inadequate or anything because that and we're
Yeah.
not there for that. We are
Right.
just we just race to get to the word count and it doesn't fucking matter who gets there first. It's just the fact that you both know that you're racing to that.
Hmm.
So I kind of need that. And I don't have a catalogue of people that work like that. So that's tough. The other thing that I can do is I can go to Starbucks and write on my remarkable because
Yes. Because there's nothing
if I
else to do
cut
and then you write fast.
exactly
Yeah.
if there's no sprinters, that's the only other thing I can do is distraction free.
So maybe every day you're going to Starbucks for 2 hours with your remarkable. Oh my God, the book will be done in a few weeks.
Yeah,
And then when you're not at Starbucks or wherever you choose to go, then it's time for everything else that is the absolute priority, top of everything.
yeah, it's just yeah, like don't go to the warehouse first thing in the morning.
Don't go to the warehouse, you adorable dummy.
I
Jeez.
know, but sometimes like it's who else? That's why I say like if I had somebody that was in the business
Hmm.
close physically that could
Hmm.
do that, that would be good.
What
I
happened to your mom's
don't.
friend?
Yeah, so that's Juliet. She's
Oh, that is
amazing.
Juliet.
She
Oh, I
she is
thought it was somebody else.
amazing.
Okay.
No, she's got everything up and running, like in terms of she's all good on the system, she's all good on everything actually. but I suppose it's what Petra has is that oversight of everything,
Yeah.
which is the same kind of oversight that I have. So, and we're the only two really that have that oversight. And Juliet is an expert now, but inside the warehouse. Like she's actually almost better than me in there now, but in that arena only, in that box. Whereas Petra is fantastic across everything.
Hmm.
And then I'm across everything, but then with that overall responsibility
Hmm.
plus all the finances. So yeah.
People waiting an extra day or two or more for the book so you can go to Starbucks for 2 hours a day. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I'm finding it funny too that like Juliet, obviously, if she's your mom's friend, then she's probably your mom's age, and she has really good boundaries. Like
Yes,
a
she does.
20-year-old, if you had said, I can't have you take holiday, they'd be like, oh no. And Juliet's like, well, I can move it a little bit, but I'm going on holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
She's demonstrating
Exactly.
excellent boundaries.
She is. And I totally respect her for it. And I'm like, cool, cool. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It'll be fine. It will be fine. We're going to do all the prep over the summer. We've got the rare event in London, which I'm secretly dreading. Um, and but oh my God, Chloe's agreed to come with me, and I could actually kiss her. I'm so fucking grateful. Like I really, oh my God, did I tell you that somebody spotted me in my car with my son?
No, weird. Oh my
So they were
God.
very polite about it,
Okay.
but they sent me a DM that was like, "Oh, I hope you enjoyed your Starbucks. I'm not a stalker, but I did
Ew.
see you in your car," and I was like, "Oh." Um,
I think it's
and
weirder
they
to
were
be seen in your car than in a Starbucks. Starbucks, fine, you're public property. You're in the public eye, but in your car,
I was
Jesus.
driving out of Starbucks or driving into Starbucks and they were driving out something like that. And yeah, and so I don't know, like there's a lot more like inappropriate DMs. Like I'm really out of my DMs now. I'm really like trying very hard
Good.
not to go in them. But like there is a lot of stuff and I just will feel so much safer with Chloe there. And
Yeah.
she's like, she gives me confidence as well. Like,
Hmm.
she makes me feel confident and comfortable. And like, I almost feel like I will be able to shine brighter just because she's there.
I can actually see the calm coming off of you just thinking about
Yeah,
her,
literally.
having her in
Yeah,
your
just,
mind.
yeah,
Like I
literally.
can
I
see
was
your
like
heart rate come
calming
down.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
beautiful.
But yeah, I know it's like her least favorite thing to do. She's not a huge fan of readers as a group of people. So I feel really bad that I'm like
She can spend
dragging
most of the
her.
time in the hotel room and you just bring her out for when you really need her and then you go back to her. You know?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
incredible. She's going to drive me down there because
Oh.
I because the alternative was stay Friday night, Saturday night because obviously there's loads of events and stuff around it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I threw up after like 6 hours of the other one. Like I am not staying and doing extra days. My only disappointment is that I won't get to spend much time with Steph Green.
Oh, Steph is the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that is a bit of a disappointment, but. Yeah, aside from that, I'm yeah, my mind has gone blank. I'm just very grateful that
Oh.
you know, that she's going. So
Where else are you finding pockets of calm or joy?
I have been back in the gym,
Good.
not for the last week because we've been in Edinburgh and then it was like a couple of days either side, but I will go back again next week, but that has been helping.
Have you been
And
reading?
slowly but surely I have been reading. This is my
Good.
possibly my best month this year. Hold please,
Good
because
job.
this is my Goodreads. And so for
Ooh.
listeners, I'm holding up a journal, a traveler's journal that I did I not show you this? Like I've done
No,
like a
that's
whole
beautiful.
yeah, so like this is my formats, like little
Oh,
stickers.
oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. And then I have like my ratings and then like a list of all the books that I've
This
read
is
because
gorgeous.
I got really sick and tired of Goodreads. And then
Yeah.
these are all the days I've finished books.
Ah.
And weirdly, I have finished a book on the 22nd of the month, every month, but April. And I finished three on one day in like on the 22nd of March. So I don't know why. And then my favorite bit, because I'm visual, is like I print out the stickers of the books that I've read and then I stick them in the month. Oh my God, this is such a nerdy fucking thing, but it brings me so much joy. Anyway, yeah, I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 6, 8 books. I think I'll probably finish 9 or 10 this month. So
that's saving your life.
that's literally saving my life because I read 1, 2, 4 last month and it
Good.
was probably even worse the month before.
I
So
love that you said that.
yeah.
Good, that I'm not worried about you anymore. You're doing great.
Yeah,
You're
I
doing
feel
great.
better. Yeah. Oh, look, I read like 9 books and then wrote 22K. That's,
We've always said that is the way. I cannot output words unless I'm taking in exponentially more. And when I do,
yeah.
when I take them in, then the words pour out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did. Jo said something really astute. We went for lunch and she was like, oh, because I was complaining that I was really struggling to put words in, like into my brain. And she was like, do you think it's because your brain is too full? And I was like, never thought about that like that. But yeah, maybe she was right. Like, so I just decoupled a few things from my brain and then oh look, lo and behold, I was able to read. Don't you hate it when she's right about everything?
She really is. It's
She is right
annoying.
about everything. Oh my God.
It's
We love
charming
you, Jo.
and wonderful.
We love you, but also for fuck's sake. Oh man.
All right. Well, this
Oh,
was lovely. What do you want? Well, I don't even know if I should ask you what you want to have done by this time next month because you're going to stress out again.
the book.
Okay.
It has to be done. I'm not even, it has to be done. It has to be
Great.
done.
It
Yeah.
has to be done, and it
Yeah.
can be done, and it can be done while putting yourself first. And there are some balls that we cannot drop. There's the health ball, there's the family ball, but a few balls that can drop in your life. And I know you hate this is books coming out a little bit late. Not everything done being perfectly on that end.
I don't pack anything. I haven't packed
Okay, good,
anything for ages. Yeah.
good.
I
Okay,
just film. The only reason I go there now is to film content or drop deliveries off that have come to my house.
yep, yep,
But yeah.
excellent.
Okay.
You're doing it. You're doing it. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It's so fun to talk to you. You're
Oh,
doing great. All right, mwah. See you
see you
next
next
time.
month.
Bye.
Don't forget to tune in and subscribe on your podcatcher. And when you have a moment, please leave a review.